Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
The experience of being alive, the course of human events and activities. He could no longer cope with the complexities of life. The condition of living or the state of being alive. While there's life, there's hope. An account of the series of events making up a person's life. The period during which something is functional, as between birth and death. The battery had a short life. Animation and energy in action or expression. It was a heavy play and the actors tried in vain to give life to it. A prison term lasting as long as the prisoner lives. He got life for killing the guard. A characteristic state or mode of living. Social life. A living person. His heroism saved a life. A motive for living. Pottery was his life. Living things collectively. The oceans are teeming with life. The course of existence of an individual. The actions and events that occur in living. He hoped for a new life in Australia. The organic phenomenon that distinguishes living organisms from non-living ones. There is no life on the moon. The period between birth and the present time. I have known him all his life. The period from the present until death. He appointed himself emperor for life. The experience of being alive, the course of human events and activities. Still in existence. The Wollemi pine found in Australia as a surviving specimen of a conifer thought to have been long extinct and therefore known as a living fossil. The financial means whereby one lives. The condition of living or the state of being alive. Informal, absolute. She is a living doll. People who are still living. Save your pity for the living. Still in active use. A living language. True to life, lifelike. The living image of her mother. Used of minerals or stone, in its natural state and place, not mined or quarried. Carved into the living stone. Pertaining to living persons. Within living memory. The condition of living or the state of being alive. The property of being animated, having animal life as distinguished from plant life. The condition of living or the state of being alive. General activity and motion. Quality of being active or spirited or alive and vigorous. The property of being able to survive and grow. The activity of giving vitality and vigor to something. The making of animated cartoons. An account of the series of events making up a person's life. An account of the series of events making up a person's life. The general progression of your working or professional life. An account of the series of events making up a person's life. The period during which something is functional, as between birth and death. The period during which something is functional, as between birth and death. The period during which something is functional, as between birth and death. General activity and motion. Animation and energy in action or expression. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. Any incorporeal supernatural being that can become visible, or audible, to human beings. Infuse with spirit. The company spirited him up. Animation and energy in action or expression. The state of a person's emotions, especially with regard to pleasure or dejection. He was in good spirits. An inclination or tendency of a certain kind. The intended meaning of a communication. A fundamental emotional and activating principle determining one's character. The vital principle or animating force within living things. Animation and energy in action or expression. A prison term lasting as long as the prisoner lives. Go through, mental or physical states or experiences. Experience vertigo. Undergo or live through a difficult experience. Undergo. Undergo an emotional sensation or be in a particular state of mind. Have first-hand knowledge of states, situations, emotions, or sensations. An event is apprehended. A surprising experience. The accumulation of knowledge or skill that results from direct participation in events or activities. A man of experience. The content of direct observation or participation in an event. He had a religious experience. The state or fact of existing. The state or fact of existing. A point of view gradually coming into being. A living thing that has, or can develop, the ability to act or function independently. The state or fact of existing. He appeared on the face of the earth one day. The state or fact of existing. Laws in existence for centuries. Everything that exists anywhere. The biggest tree in existence. An itemized statement of money owed for goods shipped or services rendered. Send me an account of what I owe. A record or narrative description of past events. He gave an inaccurate account of the plot to kill the president. Grounds. Don't do it on my account. To give an account or representation of in words. A statement of recent transactions and the resulting balance. They send me an accounting every month. The act of informing by verbal report. By all accounts they were a happy couple. Keep an account of. A formal contractual relationship established to provide for regular banking or brokerage or business services. He asked to see the executive who handled his account. A statement that makes something comprehensible by describing the relevant structure or operation or circumstances, etc. I expected a brief account. A short account of the news. The account of his speech that was given on the evening news made the governor furious. Furnish a justifying analysis or explanation. I can't account for the missing money. Be the sole or primary factor in the existence, acquisition, supply, or disposal of something. Passing grades account for half of the grades given in this exam. Importance or value. A person of considerable account. The quality of taking advantage. She turned her writing skills to good account. A record or narrative description of past events. A history of France. All that is remembered of the past is preserved in writing, a body of knowledge. The dawn of recorded history. The aggregate of past events. A critical time in the school's history. The continuum of events occurring in succession leading from the past to the present and even into the future. All of human history. The discipline that records and interprets past events involving human beings. He teaches medieval history. A record or narrative description of past events. A history of France. A trivial lie. A short account of the news. The story was on the 11 o'clock news. A structure consisting of a room or set of rooms at a single position along a vertical scale. A message that tells the particulars of an act or occurrence or course of events, presented in writing or drama or cinema or as a radio or television program. A piece of fiction that narrates a chain of related events. A record or narrative description of past events. Record in chronological order. Make a historical record. An amount of time. Hastened the period of time of his recovery. An amount of time. A time period of 30 years. The monthly discharge of blood from the uterus of non-pregnant women from puberty to menopause. A unit of geological time during which a system of rocks formed. Ganoid fishes swarmed during the earlier geological periods. A punctuation mark, placed at the end of a declarative sentence to indicate a full stop or after abbreviations. In England they call a period a stop. Ice hockey, one of 3 divisions into which play is divided in hockey games. The end or completion of something. Death put a period to his endeavors. The interval taken to complete one cycle of a regularly repeating phenomenon. An amount of time. A time period of 30 years. Quality of being active or spirited or alive and vigorous. The activity of giving vitality and vigor to something. Quality of being active or spirited or alive and vigorous. Quality of being active or spirited or alive and vigorous. The activity of giving vitality and vigor to something. Quality of being active or spirited or alive and vigorous. The period of time a prisoner is imprisoned. He served a prison term of 15 months.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.